Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. NaNoWriMo has ended as of a few days ago and I want to tell you about how it went for me and what I actually ended up doing. So if you were here and watched my announcement video or my plans for NaNoWriMo video that I put up at the end of October, I said that I was going to work on 3 different projects for NaNoWriMo. I was going to work on the dual rule project. I was going to write the second draft of that. I was going to start writing the first draft of the safe house story, which I got some really good feedback on, by the way. A lot of people like that idea and I'm very happy to hear that, so thank you for telling me. And my third project was going to be this heist masquerade ball, very vague idea that I had. I only ended up working on one of these projects, and that was the dual rule project. Now, my #1 goal for Nano was to win and hit the 50k, and then I developed 2 stretch goals as we went along. The first stretch goal was to finish the entirety of the second draft of the first half of my side of the story. Gotta stop saying that. And the second stretch goal was to reach 1 million words written over all the NaNoWriMo events I've done. Now, I did end up hitting the 50,000. I did that on day 28th, which is later than I tend to do it. Or rather, according to my graph, which I'll put up on the screen for you to see right now, I tend to have been ahead for longer than that, if nothing else. But I ended up hitting the 50k on the 28th and went into the stretch goal of finishing the draft, which I did not do. I am working on the very last chapter, or I was working on the very last chapter of my side of the first half of the you know the drill by now. I was working on that when I ended my writing, when I stopped writing for NaNoWriMo, and I haven't actually been writing since, and I'm filming this on the 5th, so I've taken a few days off. But I did not finish the second draft. I did, however, reach the third stretch goal. I have written 1,368 words over my Nano events that I've done in the past 13 years. My first NaNoWriMo was in 2009, and I have also done a few camps. And I think there is one of my camps that actually has gotten lost in the stats since the site reset a few years ago, or the site updated a few years ago. Either way, currently 1,368 words. So I'm very proud of that, very happy with that. But as you can tell from the graph, I ended up writing a lot of words at the end. On the 28th, 29th and 30th combined, I wrote 25,595 words, which is a lot of words to write over 3 days. And as you can tell by the graph, I also was behind a few times, and for a long time I was just on par, or a few hundred words ahead, a few hundred words behind, but basically just following the graph, which is not how I tend to do things. But my final word count for the month ended up being 71,237 words written in November, which is a lot. And I had already started on the second draft of the dual rule project before then. I had about 5,000 words, I think. And I'm not quite done, and so it means it's not shrinking. But that's a problem for a later day. Now, I do feel like this NaNoWriMo was a lot calmer than other years have been, and I don't really know why. I guess if I'm comparing it to last year, when I intended to write 50k in 24 hours, it was a lot calmer. But I thought going into November, it would look a lot different this year than it ended up doing. Because I had the first week off, I had the first 7 days off from work, and I thought I would be way ahead, and I was behind at the end of those 7 days. So that was the thing that happened, but I didn't get all that stressed out. Yes, I got a little stressed out at the end to hit the 1 million, but I was never doubting that I would win, and that was really nice. Now, I usually don't tend to think that I won't win because I've been doing it for so long and I refuse to fail, so I tend to win. But I feel like previous years have been a lot more stressful, and yes, I've usually then won a little bit earlier, around the 24th maybe, instead of on the 28th like I did this time, but I felt a lot more chill throughout this month, which was really nice. Now, to finish off the last of the stats for the month, the day I wrote the fewest amount of words was on day 1, when I wrote 55 words. And that was also the day that Mark and I and Teresa spent about 10 hours in a car. So I didn't write anything in the car, and then we got to our destination and then I wrote 55 words and then I went to bed, basically. And my wordiest day was 11,304 words, and that was on the 28th, the day I won. But I ended up not having a single 0-word day, which I'm very happy with. I wrote something every single day of NaNoWriMo, and I haven't had a streak like that since I think June. So that felt really, really nice. Now, if you were here and saw me open the NaNoWriMo survival kit that Kate Kavanaugh sent me, I will leave that video linked up above and the playlist linked down below. I received this card, which says, "Hope today has sprinkles on top." And Kate had also included 2 envelopes for me in that video, or in that box that I opened in the video. And it was 1 envelope for when I win and 1 envelope if I need a bit of an extra push if things are going not great and I need that extra motivation. And that card was this 1 smart cookie, which I ended up opening on the 28th or 29th, I think, because I was still thinking I was gonna win, but I was struggling a little bit with motivating myself to get started that day and go for the stretch goal of finishing the 2nd draft. So this had a really nice note from Kate that I'm not gonna read you, but I'm gonna keep this card and have it on hand when I need it later. And it also included a bag of hot cocoa that I made that was really, really good. And then the card I got for winning was this one, which says "Sweeter than sweet," and also had really nice notes and another bag of hot cocoa mix. So those cards were really nice. They helped me motivate myself and they helped me celebrate when I won, and I'm very grateful again to Kate for sending me that and to Kevin for including me in the swap. But I will say that I have not tried any of the snacks that Kate sent me. It just didn't end up happening. I got too scared in the beginning and then it just didn't happen. So I still have them and I will try them eventually. I'll see if I figure out something with a video or something, or if I just eat them on my own, that's fine too. But yeah, I feel a little bit bad that I didn't end up eating those. So what now then? I have won, NaNoWriMo's over, we're a week into December already somehow. I don't know how that happened. What are my plans moving forward? Well, I am still really intrigued to write the safe house story, which I have a lot more information about than the other story I wanted to write about the heist masquerade ball thing. That one was so vague and is just getting fussier over time because I made no notes on the dream I had that I sort of based that off of. So we'll see if I end up doing that one. I would still really like to write the safe house story, but I don't know when, and I don't know if I'm about to start that soon. I have been working off of an outline for the Do of Rule project, and somehow that is helping, and I don't like it, but I might want an outline for that story as well, and we'll see if and when I end up making an outline, and if and when I end up actually writing the story. As for the 2nd draft of the Do of Rule story, Marcus and I do have a deadline a week from today-ish. We want to be done around the 12th of December, but we have our next stream on the 18th, and that's our actual ultimate deadline if we're not done sooner. And of course I intend to be done by then. I'm working on the last chapter of this part of the story. It should not be a problem so long as I sit down to write, because like I said, I have not been writing since NaNoWriMo ended, despite us having our normal Thursday stream last week, because I rediscovered crochet. Which I've taken a break from since sometime in October. But I do intend to finish writing this draft before that deadline, preferably before the 12th of December-ish, whenever the first part of that deadline is, because why have only 1 deadline when you can have 2? Either way, that is my plan for that, and then I don't really know. Marcus and I are making vague plans for what to do after the 18th, what our next step in this process is, but I'm not going to share that with you in this video, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Anyway, this is all I have for you today, although I film the clip every single day of NaNoWriMo, which is a video idea that was inspired by Christina Horner many years ago. I will leave her channel linked down below, as well as those videos if I can find them. Either way, I filmed a clip every single day of NaNoWriMo, and I will compile those and upload that as well. The original plan was to just say the date and the word count, the date and the word count, every single day, and that's not what ended up happening. So I have a lot more footage to go through than I wanted to. Either way, that will be up soon, hopefully, and you get to see more detail about how I felt each day, most of the days, and what I was working on and how that went, and a bit more in-depth information on different sections of the story if I keep that part of the footage, unless I shrink it down to just be date and word count, date and word count. We'll see. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear down below in the comments how Nano went for you if you participated, or how life in general is going. Are you excited for winter? Is Christmas happening too soon? What's going on? Let me know in those comments down below, and I'll be back with another video soon. So I'll see you then. Bye!